Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Mr. Marc.antomattei. Welcome to Gentleman Masterclass. Now, I have a very special episode in store for you guys indeed. Now, I know I say that every single show, but this time I do mean it, as well as I always say I do mean it in every episode. But this time it's a little bit true because right here, I got a new watch in store for you guys today. Now, obviously, you know what it is because you looked at the title of the video. But this video, I promise, is going to be a little bit different from the norm of what you're used to, because anytime that you're on YouTube and you look at a King Seiko video, it's always the same. They always start off talking about the history of green Seiko. Can I have a green Seiko, please? Talking about King Seiko. And at the beginning, they always talk about the history and the comparison of King Seiko versus Grand Seiko and that whole spiel. Well, we're just going to go ahead and bypass all that today. And I promise something that is completely different. But I do want to talk about my history with King Seiko, in which, by the way, I don't own any King Seikos except for the one that I have on the table here. But I've always loved this watch. Always loved the vintage King Seikos and always considered getting one. And I'll tell you what pushed me over the edge of getting one was the new re-releases of King Seiko. So what's out there now, I absolutely love and adore. And depending on if you're inside the United States or inside of Japan, it's exactly the same watch. But there are two different reference numbers for this watch. So if you're inside the United States, the reference number is going to be SPB279, and inside of Japan it's going to be SDK S001. Now, these watches are exactly the same, but like I said, just two different reference numbers depending on the country that you get it in. And I absolutely love it. When I looked at it, and you see how pristine it looks and how the edges are cut, that nice Zaratsu polishing on the bracelet as well as on the case. The watch costs 220,000 Japanese yen, which is 1,700 USD. The only thing that I very much dislike about this watch is that it has a pretty terrible movement inside of it. One that you could find inside of Seiko watches for a fraction of the price, which is the 6R31 movement. You'd think because you're paying this amount of money that they could put something better inside of there, but no, they didn't. They're just using a cheap movement with a very nice cut case and think that you're willing to pay the money for this watch, which some people are. And some people did, and I even considered it myself. But for that price, I thought absolutely no way am I going to spend this amount of money to get this watch with this movement. So that was the one thing that kept me from buying these new reiterations of the watch. Now, before this new line of King Seiko had been re-released on the public, Seiko had tested the waters a little bit in 2021 by releasing a limited edition watch with only 3,000 pieces available. And this one inside the United States was called the SJE083. Inside of Japan, the reference number for the exact same watch is called the SDKA001. And this one has the new Seiko movement inside of it, the 6L35, which I think is nice, and yeah, I would like to have that. But now, because this is a limited edition watch with the new Seiko movement inside of it, this one costs 385,000 Japanese yen, which is just completely ludicrous, even for a limited edition watch. For this price, you can go ahead and get yourself a Grand Seiko or anything else inside the top of the tier of Seiko's lineup or the bottom tier of Grand Seiko. So that price is a little bit steep. So I thought, well, what can I do? Because I really want a King Seiko watch But obviously there is a nice compromise, which I'm getting ready to show you guys now. The compromise is being, if you like this case, why don't you just go ahead and get yourself a vintage King Seiko? It looks exactly the same as this 3,000 pieces limited edition SDKA 00, no, just 20001 watch. It has the original mechanical movement inside of there. Unfortunately, the compromise here is that it's not an automatic movement. But the plus side is that you'd be getting yourself a King Seiko for a fraction of the price of either of these two brand new 2021, 2022 King Seiko watches. So that's exactly what I did. I got 3 packages in front of me. Let's go ahead and open up any of them. I don't know which one is which. Well, I guess I have an idea now because I felt the weight of this box. How do I get this one open? All right, so there's a tear here, little compartment. Let's pull that off. We open this up. This is a box, and this is something else. Okay, so that's not what I thought it was going to be. But let's still get this one open. Oh man, this guy wrote me a message in English. That is so cool. I hope you guys can see that. I hope the exposure is not too bright for you. I bought this from a Japanese website that's very similar to eBay. It's called Mercari. It's not an auction website, but it's more like a buy it now type of website. But it's the premier site for buying things inside of Japan, aside from Yahoo Auctions. So it says, to Mark, aka Gogo13, thank you for purchasing. Thank you. I hope there will be another opportunity like this from Mion. Man, that is so cool. Man, that is nice. That is very nice. It makes me feel good getting a personalized letter like that. So I have a nice Seiko box here. Let's put that right there. Let's get all this plastic wrap off of this. All right. I'm getting very excited here. I promise the star of the show is coming up very soon. Here's something that's very unusual and weird. Let's open up this small one as well. Come on, come on. Very excited. If only I could get this thing out. Getting tape all over my workspace here. Man, I'm about to go into beast mode. All right. There we go. There we go. We got this out. We got this out. So, right here, let's move all this stuff out of the way. I got a box that I also bought on Mercari. This one was 2,000 Japanese yen, which is probably like 15 USD. And this one right here, come on. And it's wrapped up inside of this black, and we take that off. And there we have it. This one is the King Seiko box that was made for the 2022 release of the SPB 279, or anything inside of that 2022 King Seiko series. It comes inside of this travel pouch. So there was a guy on the Mercari site, the guy who I just read the letter from. He provided, or he sold this case separate from the watch. So I bought this new case to go with my old vintage watch. So I got the travel pouch there, as well as I got the outer box. So I'm very happy about that. So now I have something to store my new watch in. So if that was that, then I'm imagining that the watch is obviously going to be inside of this one. And also inside of that box, there was this thing. It's a, I think it's a pin. It says, official timer Seiko World Athletics Championships Budapest 23. I think it's a pin that you could put on your suit or whatever. I'm not sure where it goes, but I think it's a pin. So let's get this out of here. Yep, that's exactly what it is. And if I could show that off to you guys real quick, that's what that looks like. All right, so that came with that. Now for the star of the show, let's get this box. Let's get this watch. Got a bunch of newspaper inside of there. And that was pretty ingenious. He just taped the watch inside of a plastic bag to the box itself. So that's not going to go anywhere. And if I didn't already say it before, which you could see on the title of the video, this one is the 44 KS. And this is the vintage King Seiko watch. And the movement inside of this one, as I mentioned that this was the mechanical movement with no automatic movement. This is the 44-9990. So I guess that's the movement as well as the reference number, 44-9990. Very excited about this. It's on a brand new Seiko strap, alligator Seiko strap. Cut this off very gently. Wow, that is beautiful. Okay, that is beautiful. There are a few scratches on the lugs, but I'm not too concerned about that. All right. All right, I'm going to show it off to you guys. I just had to have my look at the watch first. There it is right there. Wow, I'm absolutely amazed by this thing. This is beautiful. This is a truly beautiful piece. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Got the Dauphine hands on there. Seiko at the top, King Seiko at the bottom, and it says DiaShock 25 joules. I think he said that it's been overhauled in 2022. I would have to go back to the Mercari website where I bought it from and reread that over again because I've been waiting for this one inside the mail for about a week. But I remembered it looked like it was in good condition. He said it was in running condition, so I bought it. So I'm not too concerned, but I think it has been serviced recently enough. The only thing is the lugs are a little bit scratched up, but it still has the nice sharp edges on there. And this one still has the gold coin on the center of the back. That one hasn't worn out, and I got something about that. Let's see if we can wind this up and get this thing to running. All right, it's moving. It really is moving. Wow. There we go. You guys could see the second hand running there. And one more time, let me show off that case back. Now, you guys already know that this case back wears very, very quickly depending on how much you wear the watch, which is why I got something special. In order to keep my case back in pristine condition and to keep it from wearing, I went ahead and I ordered a second case back that I'm getting ready to show you guys right now. Comes inside this nice plastic container. This one was about 12,000 Japanese yen. And this one is a clear display case back made specifically for the 44-9990 King Seiko, or the Grand Seiko of that comes inside the same case. So I'm going to put this on my watch so that I can see the movement, and I can go ahead and take this one off and store it away inside of my safe and keep it safe for in case I ever decide to sell this watch inside the future, which I probably won't do that. This is something that I think I'm going to keep for life. But just to know that I have some peace of mind knowing that I'm keeping this in pristine order for the potential next person. Let's go ahead and take off this wristwatch Check Explorer 2. Take this off. And let me put on the King Seiko. Wow, that is beautiful. That is tailor-made for my wrist. Nice Seiko alligator strap here. That is a perfect fit for me. I'm so happy with my purchase. That is amazing. Look at this. Take a look at that. The lugs reach just to the edge of my tiny wrist there, which I can't ask for anything more. I want all my watches to fit like this. That is truly something special. So, very happy about this. Happy to see it running. The case condition is very good. It's not perfect. I could probably send it off. And there's a guy out there called the Lapinist. You can go to lapinist.com. He's based out in Poland. And he will use the lopping machine or whatever it's called, and he will get these things to a laser cut precision, and he will have all of these edges sharper than how they would come out of the factory. So I considered sending this off to him, but now after having a look at my watch, I think I'm going to go ahead and wear it inside of this condition as it is, and maybe inside the future once I get it a lot more scratched up, obviously, than what it is now. When I get it inside of a really bad state and condition, then I'll go ahead and I'll send it off to him to recut. But at this point in time, it's not in pristine condition, but it's in good enough condition that I don't really need to send this off. It's in wearable condition right now. The dial is not a redial and it's not refinish. It's just been well taken care of. There is no oxidizing or no rust coming through, no paint chipping off, none of that. So this is in absolutely pristine condition, and I'm happy about that. Couldn't ask for anything more. Sapphire crystal is also in perfect condition. You see it has that nice high dome, perfect shape to it. What is this called? The crown. This is looking pretty good. It has the W Seiko there. Some people want to know what that W stands for. That is on the crown. That stands for waterproof. And it says that on the back as well. It says waterproof. Let me tell you guys more about this display case back that I bought for it. So the display case back on one side, well, on the side that you're going to see when you're wearing it on the watch, it says 44-9990. This is a sapphire crystal inside of there. And there's a case that looked better than this that I actually wanted to buy that I thought would be more fitting for the watch. But that one was a different type of steel. This one is, hold on, let me take a look real quick and I'll tell you guys about the steel. So mine is actually SUS316L, which is salt water resistant and more corrosion resistant than 304. So although it doesn't look as good as the one that I wanted to buy, I know that this one is going to last a lot longer. And the color on this looks good. You know, it has that chrome on there, so it's really well protected from rust and things like that. And I think it's going to last a lot longer on my watch. And I think as long as I'm alive and kicking and I'm wearing this watch and the watch is alive and kicking, I think that this case back is going to be alive and kicking with this watch until the end of its lifespan, which I hope is never. I'm going to keep this thing running as long as I possibly could. All right. So we got to see what it looks like on the wrist. We see that it's operating. You guys see my nice new case back for it. The last thing that I have to do now at this point in time, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this on the timegrapher, and I'm going to see what type of time this keeps, because apparently the watch was so-called taken care of, but people can say one thing and come to find out it's really going to be another. It looks like it's well taken care of just based upon appearance alone, but we're going to find this out for sure once I put this on the timegrapher. All right, so I got this thing hooked up and it was absolutely nasty. I let my friend Marcelo borrow this, who's a restaurant owner, and he gave this thing back to me with freaking kitchen grease all over it, and it was smelling like burnt steak. I had to take an alcohol wipe and clean it up real quick, have it more presentable for the video. But let's go ahead and turn it on. Oh, sorry. There's an actual power button to this if I remember where it's set. It's on the switch here. Okay, here we go. All right, I really want this to show up on camera, so I might dim one of these lights real quick just so that I have a more presentable Weishi timegrapher for you guys to take a look at. All right, so this is wound all the way up fully. Let's go ahead and take a look at this and let's see how it operates. We're going to find this out together. So it beats at 18,000 VPH. Wow, that just dropped off. So this is jumping around. It says from minus 17 seconds to now minus 15 seconds a day. The amplitude is pretty good for an old watch like this. The amplitude is 242. And the beat error is 0.7. So I would say for a vintage watch from 1967, if I didn't mention that before, that this is a 1967 watch, for that type of age, I would say that this is operating fairly good. So now the beat error reads 0.8 milliseconds, but the amplitude is still 242. Now it's running at minus 14 seconds a day. So total average in a flat position, it's minus 15 seconds a day, which is not too bad. 242 amplitude, 0.8 milliseconds, 18,000 VPH. So I could say that based on this guy saying that the watch was serviced recently, let's go ahead and stop that. Saying that it has been serviced recently, I can believe that because the numbers are very good for what they are. All right, so I'm going to wrap it up with this. I'm definitely going to say that my Seiko collection has now been completed. If you guys know this channel and you've been signed on to this channel for the absolute longest time, then you'll know that I have this Seiko Jujaro design watch. This is the watch that was in the Aliens movie that Sigourney Weaver's character was wearing in the second part of the sequel. And this is the only quartz watch that I own. And not only is it the only quartz watch that I own, This is my only bona fide Seiko watch. So now I have one quartz, one Seiko watch. I have a mechanical movement, King Seiko, my one and only King Seiko. And I have my Grand Seiko with the spring drive movement. So I got 3 different Seikos on my hand. All of them have a purpose or a function. And let's say that I'm happy to own each one of them. Let's do a quick camera shot there. Hold this up for you guys to take a look at. I'm feeling pretty completed right now. So, and it's a good thing. I'm very happy about my purchase. This was so much better of a deal to have gotten this than to get one of these new releases that came out in 2021 or 2022. Because even with a service included, if I had to have gotten the service myself and, you know, get the edges of the case on the lugs recut, it still would end up being a much cheaper watch with probably a better movement inside of it than these 2 newer watches of the past 3 years. So you're getting yourself a very good deal there. It doesn't get much better than this. But thankfully, this guy gave it to me on a nice crocodile Seiko branded leather strap. I don't think that's going to show up, but I'll show the back of the leather strap there on the camera. It's just a very nice piece altogether, man. It feels so good holding it inside the hands. The weight is absolutely nice. The strap is nice. And now I got my case for it. Where's my case at? So at the moment in time that I'm not wearing it, I got my case that I could go ahead and throw it inside of. I got a nice complete set here, man, for a fraction of the price. This one, all of this stuff together, the display case back, this box, and this watch, under 100,000 Japanese yen, which is, let me tell you guys in USD real quick, because I don't want to leave you guys out of it, to USD. So all in all, this is about 667 USD. All right, I think you guys had about enough of me today. I'm going to go ahead and sign off and say my goodbyes. I thank you guys for watching. Salute to you wherever you may be out inside the world. If you found this video informative in the least bit or entertaining, go ahead and hit that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And until next time, you guys know what to do. Keep it classy. I'm out.